Welcome to the Algona Nativity scene, designed and constructed by German prisoners of war interned at a camp here at Algona during World War II. The idea for the Nativity scene came from Camp Commander Colonel Liddell, a seed planted with POWs in 1944 that found roots especially with Edward Kai, a non-commissioned officer in the German Army. The feelings of Christmas with its church services and family festivities were all so very far away from Tide and his 3,000 fellow prisoners. So the construction of the scene, depicting the birth of Christ, seemed to be the perfect answer to help the men forget their loneliness. Tide, an architect in civilian life, directed the planning and construction. He and Horst Vedlin, with 4 of their friends, bought the necessary materials with their own money, earned by working in Iowa farm fields. More than 40 years after the war, Kai described how the idea for the nativity scene began.
Soon Christmas was near, and I decorated the dining room with a Christmas tree and a small nativity scene. I formed small figures about 30 centimeters high, out of the lonely soil at the camp, and painted them after having dried them on our stool. On Christmas Day, Colonel Lockdale made an inspection and was very pleased to see our nativity scene. Later, he called me to his office and we had a long talk there. He ordered us to plan a bigger nativity scene for the whole camp next Christmas Eve.
In 1968, Tide and his family were invited to visit Algona to see the nativity scene once again.
It was an indescribable joy for us to come to Algona. We were surprised of the people of Algona. Enormous hospitality towards a former PW and his family. It was like a miracle. I never intended to create a piece of art. The only intention when making the nativity scene was to help to bring the joy of Christmas to our camp. And you can imagine that I was very glad that the nativity scene, till after 40 years, as Mrs. Sugar in Algona said, helped to heal the wound of war.
The figures, scaled to 1/2 life size, were made of concrete over a wood frame. They were finished by hand-carving plaster with coloring effects. It was a year later, Christmas 1945, that the work was completed and ready for public display. The nativity scene was first housed in a building on the outskirts of the prison camp, present site of the Algona Municipal Airport, and was viewed by most of the area residents. Local citizens were so impressed with its beauty that when the war ended and the camp disbanded, They asked that the scene be kept intact and made a permanent exhibit each Christmas. Kibe and his co-workers agreed, and with the help of the Junior Chamber of Commerce, reassembled the figures in a new site at the county fairgrounds. As you look upon the scene, you will see in the center the infant Jesus lying in a straw-filled manger. Mary, Joseph, and kneeling shepherds are on either side. Also, the wise men approaching the manger with their gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Behind them are the camel drivers leading their animals. The shepherds are listening to the glad tidings from the angels that a Savior has been born in Bethlehem. Kibe visited Algona and the display in 1968. It was on that visit that he painted the mural of Bethlehem you see on the back wall. The First United Methodist Church at Algona has sponsored this display since 1958. A committee of volunteers provides manpower to keep the display open and in repair. The current building, where you are now, was built in 1963. The display room to the east was added in 1994. Both were constructed with funds donated by organizations and individuals from the Algona area. By arrangement with Edward Kibe and his friends, no charge is made for admission. The cost of maintaining the nativity scene is provided by donation.